Many people have been raving about how good EVA Air's business class is, and I'm really curious, so today I'm flying their brand new seats in the 787 for this almost 2 hours flight from Hong Kong to Taipei. It's a really short flight, I know, but when the price was so good, I had to pull the trigger. I'll tell you how much I paid for this flight at the end of this video, but the most important thing is to find out, is this product good for flying long haul? Because I honestly wasn't all that impressed with the 777 seats, but I have a feeling that this brand new seat will change everything I know about EVA Air. Since it's a really short flight today, so let's hurry, we're gonna dash through some lounges first. EVA Air is part of Star Alliance, so business class or status holding passengers can visit Singapore Airlines Silver Chris Lounge, but it wasn't open when I was there, so I used my AMEX Platinum card to get into the CENTURION Lounge and the Chase SAPPHIRE Lounge with my Priority Pass. I made a separate video of these lounges just a few days ago, so go check it out, link in the description. But spoiler, the Chase Lounge was much better, you'll see why in that video. And with that said, it's almost time for boarding, let's get to the gate now. Today's flight leaves at 11:15 in the morning and will arrive at around 1 PM. EVA Air flies to Hong Kong for a good handful of times a day, but not all of them are in the 787, some are in the narrow-body Airbus A321s. So do double check if you want to experience this great business class product which I'm about to show you. But first, let's take a look at the seat map. EVA Air 787-9 business class seats are all in the same cabin. 7 rows of seats split into the industry standard 1-to-1 layout. If you're flying the -10 variant, then it has 9 rows instead of 7. Seats are staggered and alternate between being closer and further away from the aisle. Unfortunately, the couple seats in the middle can't really form the honeymoon seats like Qatar and are blocked by the middle section, so you might even want to consider taking these pairs of seats instead. As for solo travelers, these true window seats are the best, and I'm seated in 5 Alpha today. The cabin and the seats look very sleek and sharp. The design looks like what you would find in some fancy sports car. The darker tone color theme also makes the seats looking very sophisticated and luxurious. This is not the Hello Kitty themed design anymore when you think of EVA Air, but a modern or even futuristic appearance. The seats are truly easy on the eye. It also kind of resembles the Vantage XL seats that Qantas and SAS, among other airlines, are using, but I'll have to give EVA Air a 1-up for this one. The middle seats and those away from the window has extra storage near the legs, so there's your consolation prize if you didn't get the window seats last minute. As for the bulkhead seats, in some aircrafts they have extra legroom, but it doesn't seem to be the case for EVA Air 787s. Besides the platform to put your stuff while boarding or deplaning, there really isn't much benefit other than putting your finished meal tray on them, a subtle way to tell your flight attendants to take away your trays without actually telling them. For that reason alone, I may consider the bulkhead seats. Just kidding, the point is, they're really not that special. Now let's take a deeper look into the seats. Right beside your seat is this storage compartment where you'll find the noise-cancelling headphone. If you're flying long haul, you'll also find a bottle of water and the amenity kit. Since this isn't a long haul flight, I get none of those. A little forward, you'll find the IV remote control, universal power outlet, and a USB port. In front of them is a seat control panel. There's also a second set of seat control over here for you when you are in lying position. There's also a privacy screen here which can be extended out. Beside the IV screen is the literature pocket. The menu should be here also, but for some reason, there's no menu on this 2 hours flight. The 18-inch 4K IFE screen is one of the sharpest one I've seen on any aircraft in a long time. But spoiler, there isn't much to watch though. Selection was quite limited, at least on my flight. Yours might be better, something that many other bloggers have also mentioned. Hopefully, the management has received the feedback by now. Over here is the tray table and can be extended out like this. Since it's a short haul flight, there isn't any sleeping amenities such as mattress pad, blanket, and pajamas. Yes, you heard it, in long haul flights, even pajamas are provided. And not only that, there's even turn down services. Soft product wise, EVA Air is really on point, but more on that later. And would you look at all these details? I don't know how many times I've said it already, but everything looks so sleek and chic. Not only that, the seats and the cabin are also very well maintained. I am fully aware of this new business class cabin coming in, But it just blows my mind when I'm actually seeing it myself, and the flight has not even taken off yet, so let's continue this conversation later on. While you're looking at this beautiful scenery of Hong Kong and the takeoff footage, let me give you some interesting facts about EVA Air and this flight. Have a guess which is the busiest flight route of the world lately? In August 2023 alone, this Hong Kong to Taipei route is the busiest on Earth. You probably thought of something like New York to London. Nope, that's only ranked 7th based on the number of available seats. I'll put a link to that article in the description, so you get to read which other routes are also in the top 10. It's quite surprising actually. Now let's talk a little bit of EVA Air's history and its fleet. It was founded in 1989 and only started its operation in 1991, a relatively young airline. As of now, it has 87 aircrafts and expecting 3 more 787 soon. Out of the entire fleet, only 20 are narrow-body planes, the Airbus A321s. Everything else are the Airbus A330s, the 777s, and the 787 Dreamliners. So you will see EVA Air operating many wide-body planes even on many regional routes such as the one to Hong Kong. It's a very competitive city pairing, as there are 6 airlines operating this route, so each airline has to come up with their own proposition, such as low prices or a premium product. You have to be better than the other airlines at something, and I think EVA Air definitely has the strongest product for this route. Cathay used to have first-class seats flying to Taipei, but looks like it's not returning anytime soon. Now the distance from Hong Kong to Taipei is only 500 miles. To give you a sense of how short that is, it's about the same distance from Miami to Cancun, Mexico, or from Washington DC to Montreal, Canada. But honestly, if everything goes on smoothly, the flight could probably reach the destination in 1 hour. That is seriously too short to do anything. And speaking of time constraint, my meal was served so quickly the moment we reached the cruising altitude. I didn't even have time to take my camera out to start filming. But here I got the beef rice, tasted really good, and everything served on the same tray. Yep, that's all for the meal. It was that fast and done. Now let's check out the lavatory. Use the one behind the business class cabin on the right side. It's slightly larger. Here's the multi-purpose platform to place your items. There are some toiletry items here as well. Everything's kept very clean by the way. So I wasn't able to do a proper and complete review of EVA Air's 787 product, but based on the design, comfort, and the customer service, this flight is an easy A+ for me, plain and simple. I know for a fact that in a long-haul flight, I'll get to enjoy other soft products such as the amenity kit, pajamas, and full turn-down service, and I have heard great things about them, so I'm already planning on returning to this aircraft with a long-haul flight next time. Because 1.5 hours is simply too short, at least I could sleep for 2 hours in Singapore Airlines first class suites flying to Hong Kong. In this flight, I could do none of that. So is this flight worth it for me? Well, I spent 20,000 Aeroplan points and $70 for tax and fuel surcharge for this flight, not a whole lot. But if you were to get a one-way economy flight for this route, you're looking at $100 to $200, and from $500 upwards to over $1,000 for business class. Even though you do get decent value when you use your miles, but for such a short flight, it's rather unnecessary. I would rather save the points and just get a cheap economy flight ticket instead. But if you're stashing in lots of points, then sure, why not? It's just 20,000 points anyway. But because of this flight, I'm now more convinced than ever that I want to get onto this plane for long-haul flights next time. It checks off all the boxes for me, and EVA Air might just become my top 5 airlines. But I'll wait and see, and I'll report back to you again once I've flown the long-haul flight in near future. And now, I'm heading to EVA Air's lounges to get ready for my next business class flight flying to Bangkok with Thai Airways, and followed by their first class the following week. So make sure to stay tuned to my weekly flight report video, a lot more to come. But until then, bye for now.